Awesome. Thank you guys so much for joining us. As you know, today is Wednesday. So we have another episode of Winners Wednesday. And I'm very, very excited to welcome my good friend Mahmoud Rialat. Welcome, Mahmoud.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah,
Welcome, everybody. Thank you.
my pleasure. I really appreciate you joining us today. Mahmoud, I know you and I have known each other for a while. Our families have known one another. And I've watched you kind of progress in real estate. And it's been really, really exciting to see, you hit your goals over and over and over again. So today I'd like to ask you just a few questions and kind of share your story about your real estate career. So, with that said, can we kind of take a step back and tell us a little bit about yourself and then how you got into real estate?
Sure. First of all, thank you so much for having me. And yes, we've been friends for a long time, even before I get into that. But well, the way it started, really, when I came to America about 26 years ago, I started working with different companies. I started working with America Online, believe it, on the dial-up stages. Then I switched kind of to Dell computers. And at one point, I decided, you know what? Because I've been around investors like Hamudi and other some of our friends who were doing some kind of like a flipping, working on different projects, and I've been around real estate for a while.
Mhm.
So I decided then one time I was an AT&T store manager, and the store decided they want to close, and they told me, "You want to go to a different store?" I told them, "You know what? I think I want to go on my own at this point in my life." And what are you gonna do? I said, then I was just talking to a friend. They told Mahmoud, why don't you go get your license? And so I said, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and give it a shot. So I went ahead and just it's typical me. I was at A plus in my school, so I said I'm gonna go give it one shot. Either I go in or just leave. And I went in there, got it done 4 weeks.
Wow.
I'm done. Took my state test and I start working primarily with investors. This is the way I really started. Just 100% with investors. I never had a plan that I'm gonna be doing a lot of transactions with a lot of different people.
Okay, gotcha. And so that was just because that was kind of the sphere that of people that you knew they were investing. So you naturally kind of progressed into that.
Right, right.
So
Then
what year was that you actually got licensed?
I think it's 2012. I would say 2012 or 2013.
Wow. Time
Yeah,
flies, doesn't it?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's
So, is there anything from your past careers? I mean, as people can see in the description. I mean, you've got quite an extensive background, and then of course with AT&T customer service as well. Has any of that kind of played a role into your success in real estate? I mean, what would you say has been the key to your success?
maybe the number one thing actually when I worked at America Online,
Hmm.
and when I worked there for like 5 or 6 years, and believe it or not, I worked in the retention department.
Oh, wow.
And the retention department, the only thing you hear is negative, negative, negative. And my job was kind of like I turn that negative into positive and just kind of retain customers. That kind of teach you patience, teach you how to listen really very proactively, and try to find solutions as you listen as much as you can. Because sometimes what the people say is definitely completely different what they really mean, and you just have to analyze that in your head.
Hmm. That's
And
interesting.
yeah, and after that, so I start going uh, from that to Dell, and I start doing with the business segments, just try assessing the business needs, what they need to build into their computer systems, their backups, everything like that. So that got me to a different stage. And during that time, I opened my own store, retail shop, and was doing that at the same time. So all of that really built a lot into me, in addition to my military background. So as kind of the discipline, wake up certain amount of time. I have to do these things. There's no buts or ifs about it. It has to be done. And so kind of like blocking everything and where it's supposed to be and just go after it. And this is basically what I feel like a lot of these pieces just put together who I am right now.
Oh my gosh, I love it. I mean, it's the compound effect, right? You take little bits and pieces from everything. And so obviously that's been a huge key to your success. For anybody that's watching this live, if you have any questions for Mahmoud, please go ahead, comment below. We'll try to get to your questions. One of the things, Mahmoud, I love about your story is obviously you have a beautiful family, and you're originally from overseas, and so not only have you created a successful career, but also basically transplanted yourself and created a successful career. So, any advice for maybe people that are in your position?
Definitely, if you come from overseas, rejection may be one thing that you will always have in your head, that people they're not gonna accept you. Yeah, that you're maybe you have an accent you're gonna have a problem with. Just believe in yourself. Just try to get as much knowledge as you can, because knowledge is the power in this business. Be relaxed, trust yourself. Don't listen to the hearsays. This is one thing I'll tell you, because if I listened to the people like when I first came, I would have not even worked in any corporation. Oh, you're not gonna get anything. Oh, they don't hire. They blah blah. You're gonna hear a lot of stories, and believe me, just trust yourself, trust your knowledge, and try to build into it as much as you can. The more knowledge you have, your customers will feel it. The people, the peers around you will feel it, and automatically you will start attracting a lot of clients, a lot of people around you, because and people like people who knows more than anything else.
No, I absolutely love that. And I actually did a video yesterday that nobody's going to care about your goals and really holding you accountable more than yourself. So I love that you said block out the hearsay, because that's all it is hearsay, right? And so I think a lot of times we don't realize what we're feeding our minds, even subconsciously, right? So it's really important to kind of identify that. So obviously, I mean, you're a two-time Icon agent here with EXP. For those of you that don't know, Icon Agent is a top level producer in the company. I would probably say probably the top 1%. And so, are you a solo agent? Have you built out a team? Do you leverage? I mean, how do you do all of that?
Well, the way I'm built, really, I like to work within myself. I did not build a team. Even that might be the ultimate goal down the road. And
Mhm.
I've been talking to some agents really who are like Arab agents that kind of put a program maybe together at one point. And but for me, just working so much with by myself, I kind of like I feel I'm comfortable doing it,
Mhm.
and but I feel like there's always room to move and do something else.
Right.
So no, I've been solo agent for most of that time. I'm trying to get my wife to be with me and start taking the transactions of my head, so I don't have to deal with the paperwork.
Right.
And finally, she said, "Yes, just teach me how to do that." So right now she's in Jordan, so she'll have a big task when she comes back.
That's awesome. We'll keep you busy when you come back, right?
Yeah.
I love that. And I think one of the things that's really important that is, really honing in on your skill set and doing what you're best at and then leveraging and kind of delegating the rest. So, Sarah actually asked a great question here. What kind of program do you have in mind for Arab Americans? And obviously that's my heritage as well. So, definitely holds a place in my heart.
Well, there are different things. Actually, if you look at my bio, I'm a founder and board member of the Arab American Association in Oklahoma, and we start working on building our organization. We start just got proclamations from the mayor of Oklahoma City, mayor of Norman, mayor of Four Acres, and just 2 weeks ago we had a proclamation from the governor of Oklahoma, which was a big accomplishment. And last week we had like a business meeting with him, brunch, and we have different businesses that came together. So we kind of like put in like maybe it's a major plan for the Arab Americans, especially in Oklahoma. And by that time, I have because I have several agents who like got into the business, but at the same time, they're not taking it as a full time.
Mhm.
And we have some people, it's the retention is very low in when it comes to real estate agents, because they come in and they think it's an easy ride, and when they stay there for like 6 months, 7 months, a year, or something, and then they go because they did not attain any goals. So my goal is just to get these agents and kind of like build into that and teach them what it takes just to stay in this business and really make money and be successful.
Absolutely. I mean, I think that support and really just kind of guiding other agents, along the path that you've already been in. And I've heard the NAR stat. I mean, don't quote me on this, but I think it's 87% of real estate agents don't renew their license in the 2-year term. So that means only 13% are lasting over 2 years, which is really sad. And sometimes it's on the agent, like you said, they get in and they think it's an easy industry. And other times it's just simply they didn't have the right support. So I think that's really important. Sarah asked, do you sponsor events for Arab American, and how much is a good budget for a new agent to put it out?
Well, really, yes, we do. Just to answer that, we do. We do a lot of that within the organization, or
Oh, I'm sorry.
really, it depends what kind of events you want to do. It's like we have events that we can do for maybe meeting for dinners, maybe just events for kids, maybe sports events. Like all these kind of events we have in Oklahoma that we can include people from in the organization and outside the organization. So we try to do that within the Arab American Association of Oklahoma. Right now, we just got the 501c3, so
Oh,
that will help us also in approaching outsource people where if they decide they want to do sponsorship or donation, that will be also tax deductible. So yes, we do, and we welcome everybody to join us. We have a lot of plans ahead. We just started 3 years ago, and believe me, that was a huge, huge movement just in the past year. Because just last year we were shut down from the governor. This year we are he's completely open, so the doors have opened in a big way for us in Oklahoma. So, and you're gonna see a lot maybe just coming up, and we're planning on the Arab American Festival in Oklahoma next year with the Arab American Heritage Month in April. So there's a lot of plans coming up in Oklahoma.
oh my gosh, I love that. You'll have to let me know, keep us updated because we'll come out to Oklahoma and definitely
Yeah,
attend that. And I
definitely.
know, I mean, getting all the, tax exemptions and things like that, that's a big deal, right? That's very time consuming. So I really love how you're incorporating your community, you're incorporating your heritage. And obviously that's in turn going to help your business as well. So it all goes hand in hand while you're giving back to your community, which I think is really important. So I'm going to kind of switch gears just a little bit. Obviously, you were at a former brokerage, doing extremely well there. Now you've been here at EXP, what is it, 3, 4 years now? What
Mhm.
made you make that shift over to EXP Realty?
I'm talking to her.
So,
Well, to be honest with you, when I started at first with Keller Williams, because I'm a person who like to have one-on-one training where I'd be sitting and talking to people and discussing a lot of things. This is when I started. At that time, when I started, we did not have EXP in Oklahoma in the way we have it right now.
mhm,
And then I remember after a year or two, you and Hamoudi approached me. He told me, "Why don't you switch?" I told him, "You know what? I'm just kind of comfortable where I'm at right now. I
mhm,
really like the program I have in, and I'm gonna get to that later on." So a year after comes in, and he was not pushy, he was not persuasive, and anything like that in any way, because he's just a friend, and he just kind of like try to give me advice, and he tell me, "Oh, believe me, it's gonna be something good." Then a year comes by, then he said, "You know what? There's nothing changing for me in this brokerage, and I feel like there's more things I can do." Because you gotta understand, the first year I did not make any deals.
mm,
Like I was just like living off nothing basically.
wow.
So I did not want to do another change before I start. If this is gonna be my thingy going moving forward or not. So the third year, when things start kicking in, and I noticed, listen, I can get more out of the paycheck than just get a paycheck. I need to reinvest in that. And then we had another conversation, me and Hamoudi, and he told me, "Why don't you come and talk to us about, let us tell you something about EXP." I told him, "You know what? Let me just see one of your presentations." And I remember like you were doing some kind of presentation online. I was just taking screenshots of each page you do. And this is me. Before if I want to make a change, I want to do it. So after that, I start reading all these screen. I start reading all the programs about the revenue share, about the stock options, about everything. I said, you know what? I'm a stock person. I used to do stock at Dell and AOL. So I said, I don't know
Mhm.
why I'm just hesitant of doing it. First of all, there's nothing for me to lose. There's a lot for me to gain. And we had the talk and I switched right away because I like the program. I like the way it's set up. I like what's going to be doing for me moving forward. And so I switched, I would say, in a good time. It could have been a lot better if I listened 2 years ago, but the stock was way low before, way better, and the options were way better before. So, but thank God I switched at the right time and I completely noticed the difference. Then COVID hit, and I noticed, like, man, I'm already ahead of the boat. So not in the ahead of it. So that's kind of what really made me switch. Is just when I saw the program that EXP offer for the agents to the agents, it just made me feel like it's time to do a change.
I love that. And Mahmoud, you really hit the nail on the head saying that you had nothing to lose. If anything, you had something to gain. And you certainly have, being an icon agent for the last 2 years, and you can earn up your cap of $16,000 back in company stock. So you're absolutely right. I mean, we definitely, it's amazing to me because obviously stock is going to go up and down, right? That's a stock
Right.
market. You know that.
Yeah.
But with the stock market the way that it is, I mean, this is the time to earn shares, right? This
Right.
is the time to become an icon, to earn shares, to acquire as much as possible, with the hope that it will continue to increase. So, is there, just to kind of sum it up, is there one thing that you have loved most about EXP?
To be honest with you, part of the icon program, it's like it kind of make you get involved more. So like to get your 60,000 back, you get part of it, then another part you have to participate in different things. One
Mhm.
of them, I start already signed up to be a mentor, but the approach I decided to do, the first one, you know what, I'm going to teach courses. And I never taught anything online. And the first time it was like kind of, oh my God, what I'm going to be, I'm going to be talking to a computer, what I'm going to be, what I'm doing exactly. But it just kind of like after I did the second, third, fourth one, I noticed a big development inside myself. And this
Wow.
is what I like the program. Like I'm comfortable with it. You know what? I think I want to make my own maybe channel, talk about these investment programs or talk about any subject that's related to real estate. So the icon itself is not about getting your money back. It's really developing your skills within you and make you comfortable of what you're going to do in the real estate industry.
Wow, I couldn't have said it better myself. I mean, obviously there's a financial benefit, right? But
Mhm.
more so, it's about bettering yourself, collaborating with other icons, and then giving back to really truly. That's why it's called an icon. It's somebody that other people want to emulate and follow and be like. And so, I want to congratulate you for not only getting that once, but now twice. And I'm sure that you're going to continue on that path. So, with that said, that really leads into my last question here. What are your future plans? I mean, where are we going to see Mahmoud in the next few years?
EXP still.
I love it. I like to hear that.
I'm not letting that stop just go away, and really is more focusing on the maybe the agent attraction and the revenue share as moving forward. Uh, this year, as I said, I'm getting most likely my wife to start doing the transactions, and that might also open the door for us within my sphere, my community, to do a team that will help the community in general and the Arab American, the Arab audience and clients in Oklahoma.
Oh my God, I love it. And you know that we can help you with that. So we definitely need to collaborate on that offline a little bit further. But for agents that are watching this, whether it's live or maybe a replay, and maybe they'd like to learn from you and go to some of your classes or partner with you at EXP, what is the best way for them to reach out to you?
The EXP World, the EXP University, and please feel free to contact me at any time. You can email me, text me. They can reach me through you, Mike. I'm in Oklahoma. I'd love to meet. I love to help. I love voluntary work a lot. So if anybody need any help, there's no strings attached, nothing really. Just helping people. I would be more than happy to do that.
I love that. Mahmoud, do you mind just sharing your phone number for somebody that maybe wants to reach out to you directly?
Sure. Let me just say it.
Yeah, sure. Yep, that sounds
It's
good.
405 209 6044.
Fantastic. I love it. Well, I'm looking at all the comments here. Everybody's, saying words like amazing and inspiring. So I love your story. I know others love your story as well. Keep up the great work, Mahmoud, and thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
My pleasure.